What's going on, guys? This is Synergy giving you a Tokyo Xtreme Racer beginner's tutorial. I know that most people are using Cheat Engine considering that it's a single player game. The game came out, it's only been out for about a week, but I just wanted to be able to make this video because I had a lot of people in my Twitch streams asking me what's the best vehicles at the beginning, why am I stuck, what to do, how to earn cash and so forth without using Cheat Engine, because I'm not surprised that a lot of people would know how to use Cheat Engine for this type of stuff, because it's pretty simple to use. But for those who don't want to really utilize that, I have a couple of different methods on how to be able to play or make it easier for you in the beginning, so that way it wouldn't be as complicated. So let's get right into it. So in the very beginning, you're not going to have any of these options like custom Mazda or Nissan. You're only going to have these three options. You're going to choose between the 8086, the Subaru, well, not the Subaru, but I believe the Mazda and the Suzuki, sorry. People either choose the 8086 or the Mazda. I would recommend using the Suzuki only because of the fact that it's practically the overall balanced option, top speed, acceleration, and handling. I know some people say, well, the Mazda and the Toyota are lightweight, they actually have more balance, but the thing is that we played this game 3 times, and I can tell you firsthand that it makes it a lot easier when you pick the Suzuki, considering that it's the overall balanced vehicle. So I would recommend choosing that for your first car, and then you also have a CP left to be able to either do like maybe some small upgrades or so, but that's about it. And I've seen a lot of people really just kind of like go through this particular tree and kind of utilize everything, waste their points, etc. I kind of would recommend to save the points, considering that you never know when you're actually going to be able to use it for your machines or tuning, because usually that's kind of the go-to for this. But in the very beginning, what you're going to necessarily do is you're going to save up to like maybe 3.3, and I would say 3.4 just in case. You're gonna get the Subaru BRZ GT. That seems to be the better exchange in the beginning. As you progress through the game, you're going to be able to unlock most of these things anyways, and you'll get to choose most of those options. But the BRZ is pretty much the faster option, considering that based, I guess, standard horsepower is like 200 or so, and then obviously the tuning. But of course, you have the accessibility to be able to change the perks and skills all you want. But in the very beginning, you're only going to really necessarily have 3 mils, so you're going to kind of want to increase it, your maximum CP capacity, and your garage as well too, in case you want more vehicles. As far as the skills are concerned, I think that's kind of your choice. I mean, if you really obviously want SP or SP reduction, that's totally up to you. To me, I think that it serves a bit of a benefit, not a full benefit, as well as the driver level. I mean, you could obviously increase the attack and defense, which plays a very big part in the game. And another thing that I feel that is probably more important than anything else is a lot of people, they have gotten stuck, believe it or not, with the game. They think that there's not more drivers around, or whatever the case is, past, I guess, Eternal Polaris or even Transstance and so forth. The reason why that's really the case is because there are parking areas that you have to unlock and go to. There are parking areas all around the map. You'll see them in these particular destinations. As you drive through the map, you actually just gotta pull up to them, and they will be prompted into the garage like so, and then they'll have like enemies you will not necessarily see on the road, which essentially would be helpful to you. So each parking area has like for example, like a tuner, legendary tuner that you would talk to give you temporary upgrades, which is very viable for the beginning, but it's only really for an hour. It's not necessarily for a long period of time. So you get to use that to kind of make your progression easier. but you would essentially want to go into those parking areas to be able to race those other drivers and, you know, discover the whole map, or at least unlock the rest of the team leaders, that I suppose. As opposed to the gear ratios, I've been asked this a lot. I think that it all really depends on the vehicles. At some point in time during the game, you're going to be able to unlock the rest of the transmission parts, level 1, 2, 3, etc. I think that it all really depends on, you know, the vehicle that you're using. I played the game 3 times, as I recently described, and I will say that I never really work on the gear ratios because I feel like for certain vehicles it's very different upon one another. I also take it into consideration that the lighter your vehicle is, the faster the acceleration would be. So essentially, by fixing the first 3 gears, especially for the BRZ, would be good. Like for example, it would be like maybe 51 and 88, and then this could be like 23, because at least like the pull will be a lot easier for acceleration wise. But again, it's different for each vehicle, and you can kind of pull around with this as you please, but I feel it all really depends on the vehicles and so forth, and it's all depending on the weight of your car. Sometimes people feel like aerodynamics, or at least the balance within a vehicle, is not important, but it's always been important in a lot of racing games, because the lighter the vehicle is and the more horsepower that it has, the faster that it would be. But then again, it would have lampy control as well. And that's pretty much it for this particular video. Just wanted to give a short tutorial on, you know, what to do in the very beginning, as opposed to the bosses, the wanderers, and so forth. It's really hard to deter that, because I feel everybody's experience is going to be different. Of course, you could take this video and look at it as like a beginner's guide or so forth, as opposed to earning money. Of course, as I recently explained, Key Engine, it's a single player game. It's not like it really matters on whether you put maximum CP. You're not cheating in any way. It's an offline game, so I highly doubt that, you know, the developers or the publisher cares. But everybody's experiences in terms of fighting bosses is different. I heard people, how to say this name correctly, say that the Xtreme Mythologic Angel is fast, Rolling God 1 is fast. I think a lot of the stuff in the game is a bit unbalanced, so to speak. You've had situations to where you would crash into AI cars to stay on top. You would have other racers do that. So I you know, everybody's experience is always going to be different. I just think that, and this is just my advice, is some of the bosses are going to be easier to beat if you can catch them on turns rather than straightaways. Only if your car obviously has the top end to, you know, pull, of course. But if your car doesn't have the top end to pull, you're more likely going to be able to utilize on the curbs rather less than the straights. As opposed to, you know, the progression of the game, there's going to come a point where you're going to be able to use nitrous, so that's obviously going to be helpful in some ways more than ever. But yeah, that's as much as I can give. I hope this is very helpful for you. I look forward to uploading more Tokyo Xtreme Racer content. This is Synergy signing out. Peace out.